NIO with about 2,100, roughly 2,000 for the insurance registration numbers for the first week of April. That's April 1st through the 7th in China. But I actually don't want to dwell on this too long. I'd rather we jump over here because bigger picture, NIO at the number 7 spot overall in the first quarter of 2024 for battery electric vehicles sales, the pure BEVs. This is the slowest piece of the market, and that's the premium where NIO's positioned to get their sales from with their main brand. And it's the slowest to move over from ICE or gas vehicles to pure BEVs. And so what's noteworthy of that in my mind is with about 85% or more of that market still going to gas sales, ICE vehicles, companies like BMW, Mercedes, and Audi, who continue to do very well. But in the future, those sales are coming over to somebody, whether it's those same companies or NIO or someone else in that highest price range. It's the slowest piece of that automotive market to move over from gas to pure battery electric vehicles. So that's important from the standpoint of bigger picture thinking. The way I'm seeing it, NIO actually has more time to take more of that market share. And there's a huge piece of it still to be taken. If 85% or more still hasn't converted, that's a lot of potential sales for NIO to go after. And they don't even need to take a big chunk of that piece of the market to be very successful. So now let's talk about the cheaper. And I'm jumping ahead a little bit here because the sub brand that will be released in May is not this one. This is the cheaper, the sort of lowest or most affordable price range that we're probably going to see from NIO. And this is in the works. I think this is specifically targeting Europe and China. And one of the things that's interesting about this is in Europe, the sort of knock on NIO has been too pricey. I've heard that a lot from folks who are like, oh, I NIO's just, it's too expensive. And so the main brand, whether it sells well in the future or not, remains to be seen. I still think it's too early to say, but, and I'll keep an eye on the German market because that's where those German automakers obviously are based, BMW, Audi, Mercedes. And so we'll see how well that adoption goes. But I also think a positive for NIO is this build out. And the very blatant, this is direct from the NIO website, very recent article update talking about its international footprint. This also goes hand in hand. This is in line with the power swap factory that NIO has in Hungary, which has been dispersing and sending out power swap stations across Europe as they build out that infrastructure. Doesn't it make sense that they would have a vehicle like this, little hatchback, that would size-wise make a lot of sense in Europe and price-wise be very attractive, especially if it has battery swappable capabilities. This is going to be a really fun sort of ending to, and we're not even into the second half of the year for 2024, but 2024, we're getting announcements in May about the other sub-brand. This one is already in the works, and obviously NIO is positioning to do big things long-term and to really go after some of that lower-end price target market on the automotive side with the BEV sales. So let's see what happens. Here's the final thing I want to share. This is the new playlist that I created, and I kind of had fun with this. I put Wall Street, no manipulation tolerated, right? That's the name of the playlist, but I've got this on the channel. So far I have 14 videos. I've talked about things like FTDs and naked shorting and some of these things, and it's not just related to NIO either. And it also highlights other people who have a lot more experience and expertise than myself because I'm still learning, really. But as I learn and share some of these things, I wanted to have a playlist where people could actually dig in, get your teeth into some things if you want. And so I just set this up. And so if you go to the playlists on my channel, you could find it and check into some of these things. I'll be coming back with more content on that. But I want to get the insurance registration data out because we've been covering it for quite a while. And bigger picture, in my view, anyway, my mind, we still have a long way to go on the premium side. So it makes it even more interesting and exciting to see NIO getting positioned and ready to share, unleash, reveal, and bring in these sub brands and those models. So anyway, drop it in the comments. I want to hear from you. Thanks. Have a great day. We'll see y'all again very soon.